Hi guys, this is my video review of the Nokia 1020 or 1020, I don't know, however you want to say it. Let's start by saying this is Nokia's, I guess, middle of the line cell phone. The highest one that they have now is the Nokia 1520, but I haven't tried that unit yet. I got this phone because I was fascinated by the idea of finally getting a phone with 41 megapixels. So if you look down here, you can see right there it says 41 megapixels. So of course the star of the show is this massive video sensor on here. The video will look really big because the iPad, I'm using the iPad Air, the camera on it seems to record everything as if it's gigantic. So let's begin the video review here. Let's start with the hardware. The phone case, I got the yellow one. I really like it. It's got a nice smooth touch plastic, and it's not a cheap plastic at all. It's very strong, very it's got a little bit of give, but not very much at all. This is still following the design of the N8. That was Nokia's first foray into having a polycarbonate machined casing. So here we are with very much the same design. I like that Nokia didn't decide to put a border around the screen that goes into the plastic, so now it's more like the glass goes right into the case, which kind of makes it look like a drop of water that's been spread out across of it and kind of just rolls into the case. So it's a very nice design case, or very nice designed hardware. You'll find using this phone, or at least I find when I'm playing a game or something at night, you know, I'm always feeling the polycarbonate because it's really nice texture to it. It's not glossy at all. So, looking at the front of the device, you can see some software or some soft hard buttons. I don't know what you call that, but capacitive buttons on the screen. Front-facing video camera here. Your earpiece, and then the microphone's down here somewhere. Micro USB on the bottom here, a couple buttons over here. They're all pretty good. They don't move around very much. You can hear them a little bit. I don't know what material that they're made out of, but they feel good. And then you can see the gigantic camera here, which does stick out a bit, but it's not too bad. And then on the top, just a microphone and micro SIM up here. So let's turn the device on, have a look. The screen is an AMO LED, and it's Nokia's clear black technology, and it does look really good. The colors pop, the blacks are black, and so, you know, a lot can be said for the niceness of the screen. The resolution is something by 768, I'm not exactly sure, but pixel density is like 350 or you know, below 400, but over 300. It goes very well against for example, the iPhone 4S or the iPhone 5. So, having a look here, we're looking at the Windows Phone 8 operating system. It's very smooth, as you can see through the video. It looks a little slower on the iPad because the frame rate dumbs down a little bit, but in use it's actually very smooth. The processor in here is a dual-core Snapdragon S4 processor, so that's Qualcomm's Crate architecture, and basically if you were summing it up to today's standards, you know, today we're dealing with the Snapdragon 600 and Snapdragon 800. This would be basically a Snapdragon 400 as far as I know. So going into the phone a little bit, you can see some very average stuff here, or you know, some, like, if you've ever used Windows Phone before, you can see all these applications here. Mine's got some Chinese filler in there because it's from Hong Kong and I use it in, or no, it's actually from mainland China and I use it in China because that's where I am. Let's have a little look at some of the stuff on here. The phone interface is pretty good. You know, I can see you know, calls from different people, my wife on there and her dad and stuff. The number pad is huge and very easy to use. So it's, I don't know, not much to be said about that. And then we've got the address book here with, I don't know, one of my biggest gripes about this phone is the fact that with Windows Phone, the contacts system from China doesn't work very well because China and Google have their differences, and so that means that Google services don't always work, which means that linking your accounts to a Google account doesn't successfully link a lot of the time. And because of that, it means that I have to link my Microsoft account to my Google account. Then Microsoft pulls all my Google contacts, which in turn means that my Hotmail account contacts all mixed up with my Google account contacts, which leads to having a bunch of addresses and stuff from people that I haven't talked to in years. But aside from that, it's still a pretty cohesive experience. It's pretty nice. Microsoft has included a lot of different applications in here, hoping that you're going to use some of them. I found that a lot of them I don't use, like app highlights and, I don't know, Camera 360, which is not Microsoft's, but they put it in there anyway. Hotmail 1 and 2, I don't know, apparently. And then there's things like Nokia Cinematograph and stuff. Maybe some really nice features that people who are photo buffs might like, but me, I just don't find myself using them. But let's go to the star of the show here. What we're really interested in with this phone is the Nokia camera. That's the 41 megapixel camera. Here you're looking at it through the resolution of the screen, which doesn't really say too much, but let's take a quick shot of the background here. It used the flash. Just as a word of note, the flash on here, this is a xenon flash and it's a Carl Zeiss lens. I don't know what that means. I'm sure that people who are longtime fans of Nokia know a lot more about it than I do. But the flash is a really nice flash, as opposed to the LED, which it does have one of those just for spotting. But the xenon flash, I find, puts a really nice light on things, so it makes things light up really well. Instead of having that kind of LED Walmart pale lighting that you're used to on a lot of cell phones, it puts a nice warm light on things. So let's go to the picture that we just took. Everything looks standard and normal, but then when you zoom in, the star of the show here, the camera, what it does is it grabs a lot of detail that you'd otherwise not be able to get. So in most phones, when you zoom in on something this closely, you just tend to lose a lot of detail, you get a lot of artifacting, and you start to notice the pixels more. But with this, it just gets in really, really close. Let's take a closer look. Yeah, you can pick up all the dust. So finally you have something that can show you how much you need to clean the stuff in your apartment. So, aside from the camera, which does very well, and I found that the video does, I think, 29 or 30 frames per second at 1080p, but I haven't really made many videos on here. The video experiences did look pretty smooth. Let's do a quick one. There we are, a little stuttery in the taking of it, but the true key will be to see how well it plays back. Alright, now the one thing I don't like about one of the things I don't like about the interface here is the fact that, for example, I just made a video, but I have to go and find the video because you can't just link straight to it from the camera itself. So, oh well, slight gripe. Here we are. So, nice and smooth. Everything, yeah, works as it should. The volume records well, the microphone works well, and it's a pretty good deal. So, let's go and answer one more question about this, and that is, how is the game quality on here? I only have one game downloaded. This runs off of the, Xbox service, or, Xbox Live. So, here we go. Oh, it's got to be this way. I just downloaded this just for the fun of it, and it was free. I have a hard time buying things in China. Let's load up this game and see how she runs. This is a dual-core processor, so it's not quite as snappy as all the other phones, like the top-tier phones on the market right now. However, there is something to be said for a controlled, walled garden architecture or marketplace. Windows can, or Microsoft can really control what goes on people's devices, so things are generally designed with a limited scope. They don't have to worry about how a 4-core or a 2-core or a 1-core processor is going to run it. Things are all designed really for a limited set of devices. So here we go. As you can see, Runs nicely. The screen is very responsive to touch. And I just died. But that gives you a showcase of how the 3D works. Not too bad. Not too many items on screen, but works quite well. As for sound, I've played some music on here. Through headphones, it sounds really good. Oops. Through the, let's see here. It's lonely. I have not downloaded very many things on here. Let's see if I have any music services. I don't. So I'm not able to show you. But the speaker on the phone is pretty good. You know, you're not going to want to play all your music through it, but it works in a pinch. So I hope that answers any questions you might have if you're thinking about buying a Nokia 1020. My final thoughts on the device are it feels really nice to hold. It is a heavier device, but I quite like it. I don't mind the weight. I saw some people complaining that it's top heavy. I guess it is a little bit, but I don't know. It doesn't stop me from enjoying the phone, and it doesn't make me think like, oh man, that's really heavy on the top. So it's not bad in that respect. The camera really is awesome. You pull it out and you take some great shots. It's not the kind of phone where you pull it out and snap a really quick one, because the camera takes a little bit of time to process all the data that it gets. So you're not going to snap off 10 shots. However, to take care of that, they do have a mode on here where you can snap off like 20 shots and then you can play around with them and add things to it and whatever. But really, if you get this phone, you're probably getting it because it has a really killer camera, and it does. It takes phenomenal pictures that you could be forgiven for mistaking for being taken with an actual point and shoot. So all in all, how do I feel about the device? I like it. I've used it for about 2 weeks now. I came from the Nexus 5 before that, and it's important to know that if you're getting a Windows phone coming from iOS or coming from Google's offerings, you're going to feel the lack of software support, because there are just a lot of applications that you cannot get on Windows Phone. You can get similar things, but you know, I find myself missing Google Plus or missing Google Hangouts and things like that, so that I can talk with people and stuff. But there are alternatives. However, they're just not as well integrated into the Windows Phone 8 operating system yet. Hopefully that's something they work on in the future. I've heard that the next update will add VPN support. A lot of you guys probably don't know what that is, but if you do, in China there's a lot of blocking on the internet, things like Facebook and Twitter, and for people from China that doesn't matter, they have their own alternatives, but for a foreigner living in China, you kind of feel a little bit cut off. You like having VPN support, and this version of Windows Phone 8 does not have VPN support, so there's no Facebook, no Twitter, anything like that. You can't get it whatsoever. End of story. But next update's supposed to have that. We'll see. Anyhow, I hope you liked my video review. Feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below. Try to keep it nice. If you don't agree with my review, that's totally fine. Let me know, but no need to get uncivil about it. And that's it for my review. Take care, and I'll see you guys next time.